Dr. Khawar Saab concluded with the very famous lines of John Milton. I would start with the famous lines of Shakespeare, brevity is the soul of wit, sir. So it's the test of my wisdom that I should conclude the proceedings of the entire day in few minutes. It's a highly challenging job to conclude such thought-provoking and such expert opinion from national and international icons. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for the formal conclusion of this session. I would start my words or my statement by, first of all, thanking the worthy Deputy Chairman of the Board of Governors and the Conference Chair, Professor Dr. Hussain Muhyiddin Qadri, Professor Dr. Taha Qureshi, Member of the British Empire, the Chairman of the Forum for International Relations Development, FIRD UK, and the conference co-chair, Mr. Khurshid Ahmed Nadeem Sitara Imtiaz, Chairman National Rahmatul Alameen wa Khatamun Nabiyeen Authority, Islamabad, Pakistan, respected scholars, practitioners, policy makers, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. First of all, let me extend my gratitude to our most respected guests, starting from Professor Dr. Niaz Ahmed Akhtar, Sitara Imtiaz, Chairman, Higher Education Commission of Pakistan, Dr. Ahmed Javed Qazi, Secretary of the Home Department of Punjab, Professor Brian J. Phillips from the Essex University, UK, who joined us virtually, Professor Dr. Toro Bajorgo, University of Oslo, Norway, who also joined us in his virtual address, Mr. Shaukat Javed, former caretaker minister and former DGIB, IGP Punjab, and all the worthy panelists, moderators, organizing committee members, students, ushers, volunteers, sponsors, and every one of you who has contributed to the successful conduct of this very first international conference from the platform of Minhaj University, Lahore. First of all, I would like to extend my gracious thanks to respected Professor Dr. Taha Qureshi Saab for his most valuable and all-out support in this first international conference. Sir, thank you very much for you all the way came from UK on my meager request, and you supported this whole conference in all letter and spirit, sir. Thank you, sir. I am also extremely thankful to Dr. Ahmed Javed Qazi, Ghulam Saghir Shahid, Dr. Ahmed Khawar Shehzad, and their entire team of the Center of Excellence on Countering Violent Extremism for their exceptional support and their astounding job for de-radicalization in Punjab, and especially in the academic institutions and universities. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the conclusion of the first international conference on countering terrorism and violent extremism, a decidedly successful, intellectually enriching, and highly productive event. Today's conference has affirmed an important reality. Terrorism and violent extremism are no longer confined to traditional battlefields or conventional security paradigms. We are living in an era where hybrid threats transcends physical boundaries and increasingly operate through ideological influence, cyberspace, disinformation networks, proxy actors, and transnational linkages. The complexity of these evolving threats demands equally comprehensive, multidimensional, and collaborative responses from all of us. Throughout the day, our discussions highlighted the rapidly changing dynamics of Pakistan's security environment, the resurgence of militant violence, the persistence of separatist tendencies, the challenges emerging from regional instability, and the impact of geopolitical transformations have collectively demonstrated that conventional approaches alone are insufficient to ensure sustainable peace and security. At the same time, this conference has also emphasized that counterterrorism cannot be viewed solely through a kinetic or militarized lens. Sustainable peace requires a broader framework that incorporates good governance, rule of law, social cohesion, economic opportunity, educational reforms, strategic communication, and community resilience. Security operations may contain violence temporarily, but long-term sustainability can only emerge when societies address the underlying structural and ideological drivers of extremism. One of the most important dimensions discussed during this conference was the need to move from tactical responses towards strategic prevention. Preventing radicalization, strengthening social resilience, empowering local communities, and promoting inclusive national narratives are essential components of any successful counter-extremism strategy. In this regard, the insights shared during the panel discussions were particularly valuable and timely. Dear audience, the conference deliberated about the critical challenges of our country and by and large to that of our era. Let's highlight the few major takeaways of the ICCTVE 2026. Dr. Ahmed Javed Qazi emphasized the significance of the implementation of National Action Plan, the key areas of the 2024 CVE policy, the transformation of civil defense to the Punjab Civil Defense Resilience Force that is helping in training 35,000 volunteers. He also highlighted the key roles of imams and also deliberated that about 76,000 of them are being supported by the government. Mr. Khurshid Ahmed Nadeem, Sitara Imtiaz, Chairman National Rahmatul Alameen wa Khatamun Nabiyeen Authority, focused on the alternative of religious discourse, the role of civil society, and the overall community resilience in addressing radicalization in country and globally. Then there was an exclusive and highly impactful debate on countering terrorism and violent extremism by the Deputy Chairman of Board of Governors, Minhaj University Lahore, Professor Dr. Hussain Muhyiddin Qadri. His speech can be the backbone of the entire conference proceedings. His key declarations are: all state institutions must adopt the peace framework proposed by Mr. Hussain, which includes prevention, engagement, accountability, counter-narrative, and economic empowerment, is the foundational policy standard for de-radicalization in Pakistan, replacing reactive security-only approaches with a comprehensive community-centered national strategy. His next key point was that women must be formally recognized as essential partners in national de-radicalization policy, with dedicated government funding, institutional support, and structured roles for female healthcare workers, social workers, and civil society organizations at every level of prevention and rehabilitation programs. He also suggested that curriculum reforms in both formal schools and madrasas must be implemented immediately through genuine consultation between the government, religious scholars, and educational institutions to systematically remove extremist narratives from Pakistan's educational institutions. Professor Dr. Niaz Ahmed Akhtar, the worthy chairman of the Higher Education Commission Pakistan, emphasized on the significance of justice, rule of law, and transparency. He also highlighted the constructive role of the youth and teachers as the role models for the young generations. The first panel discussion focused on the community-led approaches to de-radicalization in Pakistan in the backdrop of regional security complexes and the persistence of violence. Our esteemed panelists emphasized plurality in diversity, tailor-made strategies of de-radicalization. The next significant point that this panel discussion highlighted was the religious leaders should be beside the political leadership, not behind them. The role of women in de-radicalization was also emphasized. Curriculum and violence have a deeper connection, and the curriculum needs to be relevant to the age and stage brackets of our youth. And they must be part of the solution, not part of the problem. The next significant speaker was Professor Dr. Brian J. Phillips from the Essex University, focused on the complex interconnectedness of state, civil society groups, and the terrorist groups. He highlighted the atrocities of different terrorist groups in Pakistan and the region. The second panel discussion focused on from tactical responses to strategic prevention, pathways towards sustainable peace. The second last speaker of today's conference was Mr. Shaukat Javed, who emphasized on the need of counterterrorism strategy and its dispersion. NECTA is playing its role in a traditional manner. However, it should be focusing on the modern day challenges with the new approaches. There should be a resolve against the menace of terrorism. And in the end, I don't have words to say something for the speech of Professor Dr. Taha Qureshi. I would request all of you to read his book. Literally, I am short of my vocabulary. You are requested to please read the book. You will have a better understanding of his thought. In the end, I would like to thank the leadership of Minhaj University Lahore, particularly Professor Dr. Hussain Muhyiddin Qadri Sahib, Professor Dr. Sajid Mahmood Shehzad Sahib, the Vice Chancellor, and Professor Dr. Khurram Shehzad Sahib, the Registrar, for their encouragement, vision, and institutional support in making this conference possible. I also appreciate the dedication of our organizing team, coordinators, students, volunteers, media teams, administrative staff, whose tireless efforts ensure the successful management of this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, the conversation initiated today should not end with the closing of this session. Rather, this conference should serve as the beginning of a sustained academic collaboration, policy engagement, and collective intellectual efforts aimed at promoting peace, stability, and resilience in Pakistan and beyond. The challenge before us is undoubtedly complex, but complexity must not lead to despair. Instead, it should engage deeper cooperation, stronger institutions, critical scholarship, and innovative policy making. Let us leave this conference with renewed determination to continue working toward a society that rejects violence, values inclusion, strengthens democratic institutions, and promotes peace through knowledge, justice, and human dignity. Once again, I thank you, all of you, for your patience, for your participation, your contribution. May Allah guide us toward wisdom, peace, and collective prosperity. Pakistan, Paindabad, School of Peace and Counterterrorism Studies, and Minhaj University, Lahore, Zindabad. Thank you.